Hi, I'm going to do a reading from the introduction of my book that I'm going to publish in the next 4 to 5 weeks, which is called What is Wrong with Scientology? The subtitle is Healing Through Understanding. This is not the larger book that I've been working on the side for some time, and I've alluded to about the entire history of Scientology. Instead, this is a book that talks about what is wrong with it right now, what is it producing, and what are the remedies for that. The bigger book really covers the whys, and this book covers the what. And because of a variety of intervening events, I have not been able to complete the bigger project, which is quite a large one. But ever since the Cook matter got laid to rest, I really feel like we went from the ethics phase into the sort of tech phase in the independence movement, and outlining precisely what is wrong, that we know to be wrong from delivering over the past 3 years, just sort of naturally flowed. And so I'm going to give you a little preview about what this book entails. This is the introduction. When actor and former prominent Scientologist Jason Begay spoke out about abuses of the Church of Scientology, he pulled no punches. Begay's 2008 exit interview with journalist Mark Bunker went viral on YouTube. Fresh from emerging out of 12 years of a living personal hell, Begay reckoned that Scientology was a fraud from beginning to end. A mind-numbing cult through and through. Since I had known Jason 6 years earlier and served as his Scientology counselor, auditor in Scientologies, for a short spell, and I believed that we had made some positive spiritual progress together, the Begay interview hit me like a ton of bricks. It was not so much what Jason said, it was how he said it that had the most impact on me. Here was a tortured soul. Here was a man madly striking back at some deep level of betrayal. Here was the once insouciant, irrepressible friend I had known reduced to a painful, cynical tirade of protest. From my 27 years of involvement and conditioning in the Church of Scientology, irrespective of my 3 years since on the outside looking in, my first reactive thought was to reject Jason and force myself not to empathize with him. But try as I did, I could not ignore Jason. Shortly after that, Jason flew from California to our home in South Texas. We spent a week together. We swam in the Gulf of Mexico. We fished in Corpus Christi Bay. We drove by cotton fields in my pickup truck with the windows down and the stereo blaring Springsteen full blast while we hollered along. We sat on my deck late into each night, watching the stars and passing ships and talking by the light of a chimenea, a Mexican hearth. We talked of our expectations from Scientology, our hopes and our dreams, and how those wishes had come to naught. I shared much of what I had learned as a student of life before and after Scientology, and Jason exchanged pearls from his deep, rich, similar past. I offered Jason some auditing sessions, Scientology counseling. Jason agreed. We only did a couple of relatively short sessions, but two things distinguished these sessions from the thousands of others I had participated in during my Church of Scientology career. I had no other purpose than helping Jason in any way that I could as an auditor. Jason had unmitigated confidence that this purpose was present. As a result, we both gained from the experience. I think that we both recognized that Scientology had initially served to strengthen and validate what was right about us, and thus had increased our reach and feeling of well-being. But at a certain point, Scientology was utilized to try to rein us in, to control us and make less of us. I cannot say that we were able to undo 12 years of damage the Church of Scientology had inflicted upon Jason, or repair my 27 years of conditioning on the inside. But we both felt like we together had remedied a substantial amount of what was continuing to irk us about Scientology. A conclusion I drew from our meeting of minds was that Scientology could be likened to an enormous toolbox. Its tools could be used to construct something, or they could be used to destroy something. It all depended upon the intent of he who wields the tools. In either event, it was a powerful set of tools, which makes intent or purpose all the more important. Over time, Jason and I reckoned that during our week together, we created a momentum that allowed us to eventually not only put our negative church experiences behind us, but also to move on and up with our own spiritual journeys. Given that Jason never reached out again for more Scientology counseling, he came to a conclusion I could not have predicted. Jason told me that, quote, problems created by Scientology need to be resolved with Scientology. That resonated as truth with me. It served to inform my decision to devote my attention to solving problems created by Scientology with Scientology. I decided that the manner in which he and I used certain Scientology tools was how they were intended to be used upon their creation. I recognized that there were probably more people in the world by several multiples who had experienced misuse of those tools and had left the increasingly corporatized churches of Scientology than there were those who remained. I decided that I had a right, even a duty, to try to do what I could for that majority. That's the first part of the introduction, and I think it gives you a flavor for what this book is about, and I just want to start making it known that it will be available. We'll put the information where it can be obtained and how it can be obtained in the next coming couple of weeks. And it's where my attention's at these days, so I thought I'd share it with you and let folks know what's going on. Thanks.